All right, happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. It is that time, the same channel. Um, the ladies in business are going to be talking about the business of life because there's life outside of business, and we got thoughts, we got opinions that don't necessarily have anything to do with our business, but they affect how we do business. How's that?
Okay.
So, Rhonda, you haven't. We've reintroduced yourself to those who've seen you and those who haven't been introduced to you.
My name is Rhonda McAllister. You can refer to me as Miss Rhonda. I am the owner, well, co owner of the McAllister Enterprise LLC. I am a business coach. I am an author. I can help you self publish your books. I wear lots of hats.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get it popping. Let's talk about who we started talking about before the show went live. The late, I'm not gonna say great, but the late Kevin Samuels. So
Mm-hmm.
I pulled an article today because he's still in the news as of today, I think, or a couple of days ago. I may have pulled it. Um, some people liked him, some people didn't like him. Um, when I read, I saw that he started um, his shows on his YouTube channel based on telling men what they should have, and then he switched gears and changed his brand to me to assassinate women of color.
I don't
So
even think he had a choice. He just liked to assassinate women. That
right.
man. I was not a fan. Of course, you don't want, anything bad to happen to anyone, but I was definitely not a fan.
Mm, I wasn't either. I just felt like he was perpetuating the stereotype about black women. That's how I felt about it.
I don't care what show of his that I watched. I'd always have to turn it off because it was just he just make you want to reach through that screen and snatch him.
Oh, well, I've never watched one of his shows. I caught a glimpse of it on Kevin on Stage when he was talking about this particular young woman, 35, single 35, black mother who called in to get dating advice. And he showed a snippet of that. And I was like, well, I can't say what I said because
Hmm.
I was like, this dude is basic at best. Basic at best. Um, so that's how I felt about him. So
Yeah, he has some very interesting views on relationships and particularly women's role in the relationships, and it just always seems to be our fault. We made the wrong decision. We should have made the better decision. All of that. Not saying that some of that is not true, but he just came across just very rude and just very disrespectful.
I agree, but I mean that kind of leads to that kind of can go with any different direction with a number of the topics that I chose
Excuse
today.
me.
Um, what role does social media play in our romantic relationships, if anything?
Now, of course, you may have some women who, because of what they see on social media, and let's just say that we all know that just because we see or we think we see someone on social media, you think you may know what their relationship is like, but you don't. You only know what you see on social media. Hey, Charlie, I know a couple for a fact. I know them personally. They could literally be not getting along at all. And then the wife would turn around and post these pictures on Facebook. And we like, didn't she just say such and such and such? Right? So it gives you like a false perception of people's relationships. Myself, I don't envy anybody's relationship because you don't know what happens when they're not on social media or when they're behind closed doors. So I really think people should not look at social media as a way of looking for a relationship or into a relationship, I should say.
Well, thank you, Shirley, for joining us. I mean, my thought process wasn't like that. I shared a link from Instagram. I'm gonna see if I can play it. I'm gonna see if I can play it. I might not be able to show it to you. Why did you guys get a divorce? Because I really wanted something different. It's very unfortunate because he was the most loving, kind person. I had all the love and support that I could have ever wanted. But I think I went through a period wanting money. Like I wanted to be with someone and be at a different level. And I saw him work all of the time. It's one thing to like work and work and work from like 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. Just lifestyle constantly thrown in your face, constantly, oh, this girl's doing this and this girl's doing that, and expect this kind of man and want this kind of man, and you all deserve this, this, and this. And it's the social media lifestyle is just unrealistic for the vast majority. So it's really unfortunate that she placed other people's standards on her life. And now she fell short. Cousins, what do y'all think about this? You guys, I think this happens more often than not, for real. Why did you guys get a divorce? Okay, so that part. Go. So who wants to talk about that part first? Because I mean, she said, dude seemed like he handled he seemed like he was even really trying to handle the money because he was working. He was loving, he was kind, he was affectionate, and he was working hard. But his money wasn't enough. His affection wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. So, and then she realized at the end, I mean, well, she realized that all she wanted was money. And then she realized that maybe she lost out or she was stupid for that being her go-to goal.
Well, good morning from here. Good evening, there, ladies. Uh, you see, this is part of what we discussed last week. So many people get into relationship or break from relationship because of selfish reasons. I call it selfish reasons. Some negative vibes they get from somewhere. Because when I joined in, I heard Rhonda talking about what happens in social media.
Mm-hmm.
That she won't envy anybody, and that's 100% correct. Because a lot of us, thank God to all these what's it called, these pictures in the phone. They can make you look very good, look beautiful and handsome. The same way they try to paint their own relationship that never exists.
Right.
So listen to what she just said now. She was just frank enough. Believe you me, there are many women, there are many men that they get into a relationship because of what they will gain, practically because of what they will gain. And at the end of it, it's not going to last. It will work. And you use
Right.
it to judge other people. So it's totally wrong.
All right. Who's gonna come up to bat next? Nobody has a comment.
I'm waiting to
I
hear
think,
your comment.
yeah, your
So,
voice is.
I try to go last because sometimes I can be a bit much, but I just think in a society today where a lot of people base their life or their life decision on a moment and a moment that may be fabricated or it may be a real moment. I think it's sad that we don't value relationships, and there is a lack of real connection and intimacy because it seems like she may have been getting the intimacy that some people want, but she didn't want intimacy. She wanted money, and money is not intimacy.
Maybe that's part of her love language.
Well, I don't think so, because when she said was, um, I'm just gonna. What she said was there was just a part of me that just wanted more. I just wanted money, but that wasn't what she wanted before.
That's what she wanted before. Ab
That
initio is what she wanted. She's
I
just
don't.
selfish and
I
greedy. I'm
don't think.
telling you.
I don't think that that's what she wanted before. I believe that she was an insecure person and she wanted money to be able to show other people what she had.
She would have said it. You would have heard her say it. She wanted the
No,
money. She was in for the money. And when it was not working, she tried to get out.
well, I don't put my relationships on social media no way. So if you see, say you won't know. If you know me. You won't know based on something you saw on social media. So I just think that's ridiculous to base that based on what other people might see or think about you. What's up, Kim or Rhonda?
Huh?
What you all say? What do you all say?
About the video you showed?
I mean, what's your thought process for that?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
What are your thought process? What do you think about that?
Which part? I'm sorry.
The whole in con outside of context. How do I mean? Do you think that's realistic that social media can have a person feeling like that, or is that does it make you feel like you should be more, get more, show more? How I mean, what's your perspective on any of that?
Well, that's what I was saying before. I think it makes a lot of people feel like they should have more. But my whole point was you are or a person could be thinking, looking at somebody else's relationship, thinking they want what they have, but you don't know what they have. You only know what you actually see on social media, and that doesn't mean that that's what it is. That's what I was saying before.
And what do you say, Kim? Kim of Mugs and Such.
I didn't. I came in the tail end, so I didn't see what you all were talking about.
Oh, okay. So we can all post things on social media about our life. See, there I am standing on the plane.
Mhm.
But that's not real.
Right. That's my point. That's my point
But
exactly.
yes,
Right.
that's what Rhonda is trying to say. In fact, the worst thing we can emulate is things we see in social media. If you try to bring them to your real life, in fact, to me, it should be written, do not try this at home, like they do in wrestling. Yeah, that's right. You don't, everything, see, let me not say everything. 8/10 of things we see in social media are fake.
Yeah.
They are fake. We don't know what people are going through, except you get close to them. You see them, anybody who wants to do what's it called, all these Snapchats and wherever, must try to put on his or her beautiful clothes to show. And you think it's just the same. No, 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 no. Those things doesn't work. Relationship, is a practical thing. It's gone past what we watch on the telly. It's not just like that. So nobody, I don't, if you want a healthy relationship, forget about social media. Close your eyes from it.
So, with that being said, we got Kevin Samuels. We got people on social media. I mean, just being unrealistic with relationships. Kevin Samuels is unrealistic about relationships. Let's talk about something else unrealistic.
He dead now, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Um, and I mean, I didn't know that he had started his YouTube channel has started based on him giving advice to men. And then once he started giving advice to about women and how they were the problem, and his YouTube channel just blew up. And to me, it's the same old stereotypical type of situation where women are to blame for all of what we go through, and there is no responsibility on the man's part. We all have our role, but to devalue a woman because of whatever his reasons were, she was too old, she had too many children, her expectation was high. Don't we all have an expectation in relationship? I mean that's reasonable, right?
Yeah,
I think
I
it.
think so.
I think it's reasonable to have some type of maybe not an expectation, but a standard. It's reasonable to have a standard.
Sure.
It's unreasonable to have a what I call a sliding scale standard based on your level of desperation or stress that you feel in, or peer pressure from people. So that to me, that's unreasonable. But I think it's reasonable to have a set of standards that you maintain, a group of non-negotiables and negotiables. I don't want a smoker, so I'm not gonna choose a smoker hoping that he gonna stop smoking because I don't like a smoker. I just think that's unrealistic, and that's something small. Something big is he is selfish. I expect that he is going to change and no longer be selfish. That's an unrealistic expectation. So it is her choice if she chooses to follow along with who he is, with the expectation that he is going to change. I know that seems simple, but I mean, that's the best way to explain it, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
So I saw this thing on social media. Um, This says how to calm your husband's mind. And it's always about how we can calm our husband's mind, but isn't it in a relationship, in a partnership, in a cooperation when we are together? Isn't it our business to be happy as individuals and come together and be a bonus, or be a plus and be an addition, instead of all the grunt work of him being his best is based on me organizing his life. Um, don't attack his man cave. Pray for him. Help him out financially. Affirm him. Don't we all require these things basically? Yeah, no.
I don't think we all require those things. Basically, no. Some of them are very nice to have, but that doesn't mean we require them.
But I'm looking at this list. Stay faithful to him. Be easy to talk to. Smile. Kiss him. Massage him. Make new memories with him. I don't agree with the list necessarily.
What don't you agree with, Trinace?
I've been waiting for Charlie to laugh. I mean, I don't.
What don't you agree with, and
I,
why? Okay, so give me one thing you don't agree with, and tell me why.
Because she don't want to play the mama.
so no, this is why I
Right, we know she don't want to play mama.
don't. So
Uh,
this is why I don't agree,
Give me
okay.
because
one thing.
this is why I don't agree with the list in general. The reason why I don't agree with the list in general is because I'm an individual and he is an individual, and there are things that I'm gonna do for me, and there are going to be things that he's going to do for himself. And there's going to be some times when he supports me, and there are going to be some times when I support him. And I just disagree with organize his life. I disagree with don't attack his man cave. I mean, that's why that doesn't even make any sense to me why it's even on this list. He has his own space. I got my own space. I don't understand Okay, so I don't know what happened. Sorry,
Mhm.
guys.
Maybe it's your
I
connection.
yeah. I don't know what happened, but I'm not. You all got this idea that I don't want to be my man's mother. I don't, and I just think that some of the stuff that are on this list make love to him. I think that's kind of obvious. Although some women don't, they hold it to make him do whatever they want him to do. I disagree with that. Don't make his house don't make the home a war zone. I agree with that. Ask him how he is. I agree with that. But I just think that it makes a woman responsible for everything in his life, and I just think that's unreasonable.
What I was saying before I lost connection or whatever happened was that's just her list. And this is an example of what of her ideology about pleasing her
But
husband or
but it's
whatnot. You can
but
make your own list.
but so no, I'm not saying that I can't make my own list. But the thing is, this ideology is going around being shared like we all agree with it. We don't all agree with it.
No, you
You
don't
know?
have to agree, but I think it's a good list. I really do.
Mm, I don't necessarily.
Matter of fact, I copied it and saved it. That's how good I think the list is.
I
I think it
think
had a lot of good information on it.
the list is a good start, but but because
No, you
but,
can expand on it. You can take stuff out you don't like, add your own stuff, have your own list.
so I again, social media puts us in a position where
Sorry, can I just say something there before you
yes,
get
please.
one? I want you to that list is not something you could just every day you go through it. It should just serve as imaginary, something you have in your hand, in your back of your heart, and wherever there is his there, you should turn it to our. Shouldn't be his. It's no longer his home. It's our home.
Right.
It's not yet. You don't because when you say his home, you are seeing it as you are doing a favor to him. But I
that
always tell you this.
that right there was it. I couldn't figure out how to say it, but that's it right there. Because if
But
he's your husband, then we are together. And why wouldn't I want our home to be pleasant? Why wouldn't I want him to have his space just like I would want my space? So to me, that's why I said some of the stuff is like common sense to me. Some
yeah,
people need
but
reminders, but I mean, I guess if you want to make a list, that be your list. But that's another that's another way that social media puts you in a position to, am I doing this? Should I be doing this? Maybe I should do more. Certain
Some
things.
people can, and some people may be fine, and some people don't need a list.
sure. That's what I'm saying. You don't
I think
even need a list.
we should
You don't
kind of
even
go
need a
back.
list.
I think that and I know people are tired of me saying this. Women's independence movement has changed a lot about what womanhood means, about what femininity means. I think that the independence movement was a great movement. I have nothing against it because I reap the benefits of the women's movement. But what I think is it has put women at a disadvantage where some of us feel like I'm okay with I'm powerful, hear me roar, but the Bible created God created man and women, and He created a partnership. And for a woman to say, I can do all of this by myself, yeah, I can, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's just where I
See,
am with that.
see, when you talk about the Bible and the relationship, God created man and woman. but you don't like reading the part he said you should be submissive.
Oh, I don't have a problem with me being
Okay.
submissive because he gonna
Oh,
be submissive too. I understand that part. I don't
hold
have a
on.
problem with that.
Hold on. What this person is trying, the list you just read, I agreed with it. What the person is trying to remind us are little things that can spice up the relationship. Now, I want to tell you, like they said, you are trying to say that when the relationship goes sour, they always blame the woman because the woman is the mother. See, God knew that without a woman, this world wouldn't last. And that's why he created the woman. And the woman has a lot of responsibility, not something that, not a commandment, a lot of responsibility to make things work out. And it involves in teaching and all those things you see. Not that when anyone you don't do that it gets you below the mark or whatever. No, no, no. Those things are just
I'm
things
having
you
a
think.
hard time hearing you all. I'm trying to adjust my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay. Those things are things that if you want peace in your home, you need
Okay.
understanding, you need everything of those things to make sure you are happy. The end point is you being happy. What are the things that will make you happy? You being the boss in the relationship or making the relationship like a partner, you do this, he must do this. Are you going to be happy? If it's what makes you happy, fine. You think he accepts it? No. So I think we've gone past discussing days that communication, understanding, and there is no one particular formula in a relationship.
Mhm.
What
Right.
works for what works for Rhonda might not work for me. It might not work for
Correct.
you. So
Mhm.
Correct.
what we need to say is sometimes flexibility matters. You might be saying, no, no, I will not kiss him every morning. But if it's what makes him happy, when you get together, you try do it. All you want is your happiness, peace in your home. Looking at that list, I don't see anything that is unreasonable there. Those are the things. It's not as if there are things that should be forced on you or enforced. No, no, those are just spices that will just make the relationship head. That's what I think.
Mhm.
So try.
So,
But then,
so
in relationships is
when I become a wife, I'm gonna be a good wife because it comes from me being happy, and I can only add to his happiness, just like I would hope that
right.
he would add to my happiness. So for me, how to calm your husband's mind should be more of a list that should have been created to build couples mind, because it seems like to me all of these things make her responsible for a collaboration, because marriage is a collaborative effort. It's not we just married and I'm gonna do me and just be concerned about me.
I agree with you.
All right, what else do we have? We have something fun. Male birth control. What's getting in the way, sexism or science? What say you, Charlie? Because you laid you laid back in your chair. What say you?
You, you know, I always want people to say first. Then I like to say something. Well, let me come in first. I don't believe I still believe in science. I still believe in science. I still
Mhm.
believe in science. And like I said last week, birth control have to. That's where communication comes in. The two of you, you don't even need. You don't even need all those um control. In fact, let me say, There are so many things you don't need if you really understand yourself. Sit down with your man, tell him, draw the circle for him. This is no, no. This is yes, yes. This is no, no. This is yes, yes. Simple as that. You understand. When it comes on this date, you tell him, "Are you ready for a baby?" He said, "No, no, no." He said, "Okay." You understand. Then if that is not gonna go because, honestly, some some of these things it doesn't end well. Some of them has side effects in
Yeah.
women, and that's why the women want the men now to have a feel of it. To me, I think either protection, using protections, or our problem is getting to get change or trying to know something more. You can sit down with your man and say, okay, we can do this. If you can read and get PhD and masters, this little thing in a month, you can also have it at the back of your head and the back of your mind. The second thing, and know when and when not. It helps you. It's your subconscious mind. Hey,
Mm.
this simple. Is I think if you have understanding with your man and there is peace at home, peace in the home, anything you two agree most. That's what I believe.
Okay.
So I believe in science. I know it's science. It's not the sexism. No.
I know
What
some
you say,
people put
Rhonda?
the choice of birth control totally on the woman to decide and leave men out of it 100%. So they make it the woman's responsibility, period. So I think it's about time
Mhm.
for the men to take some responsibility.
Right, especially when they want to regulate whether a woman is going to grow this baby in her body.
Yep. Yep.
See,
So, I mean, the article that I found, I have been hearing about men's contraceptive for years. There isn't anything exactly except for the condom, and the man gets to choose whether he's going to put it on or not. And he gets to choose based on if the woman says, I'm going to keep my legs closed, or you going to put that condom on.
Mhm.
So at this point, what I found interesting was that there's a male contraceptive initiative, and the contraceptive is not just about condoms or even about vasectomy. They're talking about what does it say? A male birth control pill.
Pill. Mhm.
Could it work?
mm,
Many men are on board. They are on board. As of 2017, a survey of 1,500 men living in the United States found 80% of the participants wanted to prevent their partner from getting pregnant and taking responsibility for birth control. But I found a fallacy in the article,
mm,
and this
What
is
is
the
it?
fallacy I found. So, what they're saying is, um, in the United States, the un the unintended pregnancy rate is significantly higher than many other developed countries, according to Guttmacher's Institute. Those rates are highest among young women, low income women, and women of color. But there was a study that I read about last week because, not last week, but last year, because we were all in the house. We couldn't go nowhere. So,
Mhm.
I was reading that says the birth rate for teen pregnancy was down. The women of color were having less babies. They were becoming more educated. They were having babies later on in life. Therefore, that is a fallacy. That's not true. Back in the early 80s, young pregnancy was popping, but
Mhm.
not right now. Not right now.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, that's great. So I didn't appreciate that fallacy, but I think that contraceptive conversation should be had if you are having sex, whether it's casual sex or you're in a relationship. There should be a conversation.
Yes.
Having sex to have babies, to trap a man or to trap a woman, because men are putting holes in condoms to get girls pregnant to keep them around. That is something that's happening. It's something that's definitely happening. I don't have to worry about no babies. My baby making days are over.
Mine too.
They've been
Woo, done with
overload.
that.
We don't have to have no look. We don't have to have no conversations about us having no kids, cause
No, no, no.
we is not.
Well,
I was talking to one of my male friends, and he was in conversation. He thought he was gonna slip it by me, and he said something about his next something, and I said, hold on, partner, cause there won't be no next over here. You gonna have to go somewhere else. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Well, I think it's and I think it's a conversation that's not had by a lot of people, just because talking about sex, the way your parent talked about sex to you may have been uncomfortable, even if they had a conversation at all. That's one
Right.
thing. And then women are made to feel ashamed if they like sex, if they know about how their body works, and how to make them enjoy sex more. It's okay for a man to enjoy sex, like sex, have a lot of sexual partners, but it's like, to me, it's kind of, the woman is supposed to be like kind of prudish. And if I'm going to be real honest, and I am, I say what I say. Um, I enjoy sex with the person I love. Right now, I don't love nobody but me. So
Hmm.
it's no shame in, because
Right.
it was created to enjoy. It was not created just to procreate. It
Right.
was created to have children and to have a connection with your mate.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think one thing we lack so much in our family is sex education. Sex education. We need to
Hmm.
teach our daughters, our sons, right from when they are 12, let's say 12 years.
Before
Yes,
then, before then,
yes,
no, not 12. Before then, because they hearing about it in school. Back when I'm 51, and when
yes,
we learned, I was in fifth grade. What about you? Fifth grade, Rhonda? It was me, fifth
Yeah,
grade.
just about the sex in school. In school was the only way I learned about sex. No one ever sat me down and had a conversation with me about sex.
you see.
Never.
So we need to sit down. If you say below 12, okay, we need to sit down with our children, the boys and the girls, teach them about it, tell them about it. You see, there is one funny thing I'm gonna tell you now. In Africa, there was this tale. A grandma told the granddaughter, "Do not let any man see your pants. If he sees your pants, you'll be pregnant." So,
Okay.
so one day, the girl climbed up and get stuck up there. So, and a boy came to help. He now knew the boy would see her panty from there. He now told the boy to close his eyes. The boy closed his eyes. He now removed his panty to come and help him. So when the grandma is there, he said, "No, no, 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 he didn't see my panty." Kind of a thing. So the we need to teach them about it. Very, very, like we tell them, you don't steal, you don't do this, you don't do this. We need to make it the 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 the,
The
the
norm.
11th commandment in our homes. Teach them about it.
Hmm.
Whatever you teach your child, if someone else is telling him or her, he will not be surprised. He will say, "I know about it. I know about it." It's just like somebody trying to blackmail me about something with you now, and I've already told you. When the person is telling you, say, "Yeah, I've heard it," he or she will be disappointed. It won't take you further. as much as we're telling them about negative drugs and so many things, tell them about sex. You understand? So that's if we be able, because every bad child starts from the home.
So
If you get it right at home, you don't worry about the school.
I think that it doesn't start. I think it starts maybe even sooner than
Okay.
they're developing, because I had sons and a daughter, and they know that they are different. And as soon as they start asking at age appropriate ages about different things, when they're asking you, don't tell them to be quiet. Don't tell them not to ask you that, because the more you build their confidence in them coming to you and trusting you to talk to them, the more likely they are going to talk to you more and more about different things as they grow up. First of all, talking about sex with your parent is crazy, and uncomfortable for the child as it is as the parent, as it is for the parent. But I
Right.
think that when you start an open and honest dialogue at a different, at every age appropriate, that makes it easier for them to come to you. I told my sons and my daughters to wait until you're married before you have children. My son
That's
said, "Well,
right.
mommy, you had sugar babies." I said, "Well, mommy was wrong. I did the wrong thing. So I want
Mm-hmm.
you to wait until you're married. And if you cannot, you wear protection, because girls are bad and boys are bad. Girls will tell you she is taking a birth control pill.
Right.
If she
Right.
comes here and say, I'm pregnant with Chance or Kwane's son, they kid, that child belonged to us because you were with her. And until you can afford a DNA test, this baby belonged to us. And that's how I believe. When they were older, when they started having sex, they weren't, young teenagers. They were probably older teenagers, or maybe even 16, 17, 18, whatever. They were older, but they weren't so quick to think about, as Chance used to say, doing sex like it was a drug. So soon, because that was a conversation that we consistently had.
Got you.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I mean, we can't shy away from the hard topics because they are hard, because our children need them, um, their friends need them, need the conversations, because every parent is not talking to them. And if you have kids that come to your home that trust you, and parents that trust their kids at your house, then there needs to be some type of conversation being had, as far as anything, not just sex, but drugs and gangs and being safe, period.
Sure. I agree.
So I know I
And
said all of that to say men need to get contraceptives. They need to take birth control pills, not Viagra. If you're going to take Viagra, take you some pills too. They don't interact, because
you need to go. You need to hit the lab, and get it out quick, quick, quick.
we got through, I think, all of the topics today.
Hey, hey, hey.
I tried not to load us up with topics today, but I always like the relationship topics the most, because everybody has their ideas about what relationship is, based on our cultures, our communities, what we've seen, and what we've lived through. So I always like
Exactly.
the relationship topics, because it's always good to get a different perspective, somebody else's different look at it.
That's right.
All right, so Mugs and such, she dropped off because she said these two are doing too much. Maya and Aiden are getting on my nerves. So that's why she left. Maya and Aiden were getting on her nerves. Ah, to have children in the home.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My grandkids are here last night, taking up my bed. Free tonight.
Right, they warm the house.
Huh?
They do.
Nothing. Grandchildren? Yeah, they do.
Children, children and grandchildren.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Absolutely.
All right. So looks like we are gonna call it a wrap. So everybody share how you can be found on social media and share what you do.
But
Go ahead, Charlie.
before then, there's something you sent about Samuel. Is it Samuel, right? The guy that died.
Oh,
Kevin
Kevin
Samuel.
Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of people were happy that he died. They said a lot of things about him. Uh, in his program, he always blamed women.
Say
You
that again.
remember?
I couldn't hear you, Charlie.
I said, there's there's the from what you shared, there is this somewhere the guy that died, the do relationship program.
Yeah, he started off telling men, giving men tips on whatever men do. And
Yeah, and
then it turned to critiquing women, and I just think he went into the stereotypical conversation about a woman needs to be young and she shouldn't have kids, all these kids, and she shouldn't do this and she shouldn't do that. And he was disrespectful to her. I mean, I like I said, I'd only seen that one snippet of him, and I was like, "Well, who would watch this trash? And why?" And why would she stay on and continue to talk to him and try to plead her case to somebody who um who already had his opinion of her because he thought himself to be better.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel, Charlie, with plenty of videos for you to watch. And I would watch his videos and think to myself, because he was a nice looking guy to me, but how could you be this nice looking and be this damn ignorant? That's what I would just like. He's very misogynist. He was something else.
that's it. So many people. So that's why I'm happy we talked about the social media thing. A lot of people, the views they give in the social media is all about their selfishness. You can see somebody who come and talk about something and you just pick it up. You never knew the mood he was or what he thought. Maybe he had a heartbreak or something, and he start telling you a lot of things. And you say, "Have you listened to that guy? You see what he said? All this, that." You think he was right.
Right.
Maybe he was not in his normal senses when he was making all those videos and some things, or something was bothering him. You understand? So sometimes, like like we need to see the chaff from the main thing before everything, because I had to read down through. I see that a lot of people were happy, not as if they were happy. A lot of people were like, "Gosh, finally he's gone, so we can rest."
Well, I didn't think. We don't want to say
I
that.
didn't.
Well, I wouldn't.
Okay, so I mean, I did say before we started, they say never speak ill of the dead, but I
So
say God like the truth. But I mean, a lot of that one thing that I saw, I was like, how can anybody watch this trash? And
As sometimes he can make some really valid points, and not saying that some of it was not true. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, we make these poor decisions, and yes, sometimes we stay with men longer than we should, and yes, we ignore signals, signs, and warnings. We do all of that, but he could be very rude, very nasty, just he was something else.
Oh, well, I only saw that like that snippet, and I was like, I'll pass. I just don't, because when I wrote my first book in 2013, for me, my thought is I stand for women. I stand for supporting women. I stand for um wanting better for women. Um and that right there just was not building. That just did
Yeah,
not build for me.
yeah, you got that right. Definitely got that right.
Well, well, I have nothing to say, but the truth is, every relationship should be nurtured by you and you and you and by you alone. Let
Yeah.
let there not be a third party thing either by anywhere. You try so many men. Let me tell you, so many men are not manageable. So many men are not manageable. Same as many women out there. Some come into a relationship, they'll become confused. They don't know what they want. So
True.
before you know it, everything will just crack out. So, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody, how can we follow you on social media? How can we get in contact with you? How can we get your products and services? Share that with the people while we got a few more minutes left.
All right. Charlie Papi, Facebook, Instagram, Papi Charlie. I deal with all anything Turkish wears, shoes. I can get it at your doorstep.
On TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter is TME LLC, and on Instagram is the McAllister Enterprise. It's the main page.
All right. Well, you all know I'm one authentic woman everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm gonna be starting to do some TikTok quick jump ins, quick conversations, really soon. Um,
You know, on TikTok, they have it now where you can do up to 10 minutes.
oh
Mhm.
well, I don't want to talk 10 minutes. Yes, I don't want to talk 10 minutes. But yeah, it's important to have real conversations with real people. Um, very important. And be open about what your thoughts are. Somebody could be thinking the same thing, or somebody could help you think something differently and expand your horizon with your thought process. So it's important to be able to be honest and open,
Yeah.
and expose yourself to different people, places, and things, um, to grow yourself to because we're all here to grow and develop into better people, and who we develop helps us help other people develop.
That's true.
Very very true.
So until next time, everybody, good night. See you next Tuesday, same time,
See you at the
same bad
top.
time, same bad time. Good night.
All
All
right.
right. Good night. Bye bye.
Bye.